Welcome, everybody, to the second episode of Will of the Wheel. This episode, the Wheel Gang has challenged Bomb Rush Cyberfunk to a crew battle for All City. And we're here for this game. The new game from Team Reptile came out last year, I think? Yes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it was late to mid last year, 2023.
New, Jet Set Radio-like extreme sport game, whatever you want to call it. This is, both me and Reed wanted to play this game. This is a replay for Reed, I believe.
No, I never beat it.
You never beat it?
I
okay,
waited
so
to...
everybody's first time.
Yeah.
He hasn't gone all city.
I have now.
Not all City King.
We're all City Kings now.
I guess we should just start with the general impressions of the game. I guess I'll go first.
You go first, yeah.
Yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed this game quite a bit. I'd say this is my favorite game we've played so far.
That's high
It's it's an incredibly charming game, very fun visually, like throughout the entire thing. The music, well, I mean, we'll get to that obviously. But the gameplay is also really fun, really addicting, really enjoyable, like levels, characters. Like I think on it really just fires on all cylinders, really, from beginning to end. I really like the story as well. Like I was very surprised by how much I enjoyed it. And yeah, I definitely, I can't wait to replay it. And I feel like that is the greatest endorsement anybody could ever give.
I 100% agree. I recommend this game, having played a fair amount of it. Actually, I was doing a playthrough on my YouTube channel. And that was, I mean, I already knew I really enjoyed this game to begin with. Adding it to the wheel gave me the push I needed to finish it. But yeah, I would say out of our wheel games so far, I think this one's my favorite as well, like 100%. It beats out Sea of Stars.
Tyler?
I don't know. I really like Sea of Stars, but I have to agree. I really like this game. And I can't put my finger on it, but it's one of those games where, like, no matter what I was doing in a day, I could pick it up and I would enjoy it 100% of the time for as long as I played it. And even after you beat the game, it still gives you reasons to just hop back in and just have fun with the game's mechanics. And there's something really special about that. Like, short, sweet, doesn't overstay its welcome, but it is fun every second that you decide to play. And yeah, I really like this game. It continues the trend of types of games that I wouldn't necessarily pick up on my own, and I'm not very good at. But man, I love this game. And I was just bobbing my head and enjoying my time the whole time through.
I agree with a lot of what's been said. I don't think I would have played this game had it not been on the wheel, but I'm really glad I did. And yeah, I mean, immediately I started noticing, like, subconsciously, I was bobbing my head to the music while playing this game, like 30 seconds in. We're definitely gonna get to that later. But yeah, super cool, charming, you said, I think is a great word. A very stylish game. Had a lot of fun with it.
Robbie?
Yeah. So overall, this game was, I think, also probably one of my favorite games that we've played so far in this journey that we've been having. I think the idea that, like, it's this, like, heavy parkour fun artistic game is just right up my alley, and every time I played it, it was always a great time. Yeah.
Is it me now?
Yeah, go
You're
for it.
just-
All right, cool.
We don't have to call you out, but okay.
Call me out. No, it's for me, this game is also a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I think vibes is definitely just the best word to describe this game. I don't know if it beats out Sea of Stars. Maybe from, like, moment to moment, like, on average, the game is, like, better, like, more, like, fluid in gameplay. Like, you play it for longer and you just chill with it. But I think Sea of Stars has a bigger impact in, like, its, like, bigger highs, but definitely, lower lows. But it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it all the way through. It was great to pick up.
Yeah, well, as someone who was a little more middling on Sea of Stars, I definitely like this game a lot more. But I think one of the reasons for that, I think we just got to talk about right away is the style and more specifically the music. Because the music in this game, I feel like this has got to be like top 5 game soundtracks, like period, for me. Like the game, like the music is so ingrained into the game. It just comes down to the implementation of it as well. Like I really enjoy that the game, like the music of the game is kind of treated like a rotating like playlist, like as if you're kind of like no matter what the context is, like the songs are always like they just kind of go, and then once one song ends, it goes to another. It's almost like I imagine it as like you're in the game as one of the characters, like listening to music as you're playing the game. I thought that really added to the immersion of it, and like that really just enhanced like the style, which is such a huge part of the appeal of the game to me. So I don't know about the music. I feel like it's the universal praise, probably.
It's a game.
Yeah.
A game where I feel like the music was nailed down before they probably even 100% had the game in play.
That's fair.
This reminds me of a joke I've heard about Guilty Gear and like fighting games in general. It's like, oh hey, it's cool that album comes with a game. I feel like it's the same vibe with this game. Like,
It's like the music is like 70 to 80%, or like the background enjoyment. And the gameplay is like fluid and like it's just like it's a good accompaniment to all like the flow and tricks you're doing.
I wouldn't be surprised if, as they were making the game, they just had a playlist of all of these songs, and they were like,
The devs had the songs on the background.
it was already a playlist that they were listening to, and they were like, let's make this what we build the game to. And then
It feels so well realized. Like the songs in tandem with the game's like style, subject matter, gameplay. Like it's all so like I don't know how you would describe it. Like
I mean,
it's all so well in sync.
Yeah, like
plays it
coincides
perfect.
together.
The gangs or the like turf that you're trying to go after is all themed around the music that is playing. The ballers or the Frankenballers have music that looks and feels like the same style that they are, and it's so well done, man. They nailed just theme and style from music and level design and just like aesthetic, like even the dance moves that they're doing in the area with the music is just on point.
that is one thing I want to bring up. All of the NPCs and main characters in this game have dances as their idle animations, and I just love that. It's great. It's such a nice touch.
It's perfect for
More
this.
games should do that.
Yes.
No more blank. After playing this game, I can never play another game where there is just a blank idle where they're just like
They're
standing
standing
there motionless. kind
Look
of
to the side for like 10 seconds, maybe.
Yeah, it's like. Sorry, I was just gonna say. At first, I thought it was funny. I was like, "Oh, it's a little silly. I like that." And then, as the game went on, I listened to the music more. I was like, "Oh, that's why they're always dancing."
They're bumping to the same tunes.
Yeah, for real.
I ended up having an idle animation while playing this game, and I was
Love that for you.
yeah.
Like,
man.
imagine Tyler bumping out to ass.
Yeah, I
The
bet.
best song in the game, obviously.
Iconic.
What goes hand in hand with audio is visual style, of course. And I think we all kind of went into this not realizing, I think, to the extent that they were going to go with some of this like visual presentation in the terms of like, I think I went in expecting maybe a somewhat more grounded environment. But these environments feel otherworldly often. Specifically, I know, or I see in our notes, we have the kind of like dream moments where you, at certain points in the story, you end up inside the main character's head in these kind of ethereal, almost like melancholy. They look like artistic renders, honestly, but it's like this whole parkour segment. Those segments, I think, really popped out to all of us in a sense of like things felt present and active and really like pulled your attention in.
Yeah, the artistry of the game is really great, and I think it all comes together with the style, because like the game is like conceptually the game is about like it has a very like Y2K kind of feel and aesthetic about like a rebellious group of people.
They're still using
run
flip
around and
phones.
skateboard, BMX through these cities, and they're tagging things with graffiti, and it has a very like it's very drenched in that sort of aesthetic, and it also feels like kind of like a lost Dreamcast game as well. Like the models feel very of that time period, which is like perfect for the style and subject matter, and that kind of goes into some of like the levels and stuff too. Like I feel like conceptually the times where you go into the main character's head is like it's like right out of like a Mario Sunshine kind of thing, where you're just like they're just like let's just throw the most like surreal, trippy imagery at you, and it really works. There's like one part in the game where it's like you're just in like this blank void with a bunch of like black crows, and you walk up to like a big mama crow. It's like the most out of left field shit ever, but it just every time the game wanted to like show off visually, I was always impressed, which is I think for an indie game especially very impressive. It's just through like creative art design and like character design. I was always like, especially like I mean we don't want to talk about it in specifics, but the final boss, I think just visually I was just like holy shit, like this is like this the visual of it alone really made me feel the climax of it. And I think the whole game is like that.
Those dream areas that we were talking about are, I think, even more so than a visual element of the game. They do what I think the combat doesn't, where it changes up the gameplay from being this trick thing, and rather than, I think, falling flat like the combat does, I'm sure we'll talk about that, but I think it turns it into a parkour kind of traversal game for a little bit. That's not about points, but more about just getting from A to B and figuring out like jumping from pole to pole and figuring out how to smash through glass and make those jumps, and it becomes a traversal game. And I think it works really well. I like those sections a lot.
Yeah, there's some of my favorites.
I agree, definitely.
I think like when I was playing those, like I'm getting the memory of Cloudburst. Every time we were playing, I was like, oh, it's time for these missions. But like I think having playing that game and then playing this game, it always made me like want to wonder like what would happen if that game ever got like revisited at one time and had this kind of mechanic, like how would our opinions change while playing through these. But I think when I was playing these set missions, I think they were definitely the most exciting ones, or the ones that I was looking forward to, besides the main hub.
Yeah, they were cool. I really like this game has like incredible controls. Like this is definitely like, I know it's like weird to call it like a 3D platformer, but I mean it basically is. And I feel like it's some of the best, like especially like air maneuverability like in a game. It's just like really like I felt effortless like chaining like from grind point to grind point, and that's such a huge part of the game. So it's really good they nailed that. But it's like just the air control I think is really solid, and like on the ground like you have like the slide and all these different things like extend your movement. Like the movement mechanics of the game are just really well thought out. I've never actually played Jet Set Radio, like the game that this game is clearly heavily inspired by it, but this like they really nailed like flowing all these different actions together. Like I think I probably wrote down in the notes somewhere like the flow state of this game is like amazing. Like it reminds me of all of like my favorite movement based 3D games. Like where I just moving around in and of itself is fun.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think the movement, or at least from what I've heard, I've actually never played Jet Set Radio myself, but from what I heard, I think this game plays pretty differently.
I've seen footage. Jet Set Radio looks very clunky in comparison to this game.
I think I've heard similar, but
like the air dash, I think is also a huge thing.
Don't
like,
trust
it adds
my opinion.
Yeah. Really fun. I want to talk about level design too. Like as far as like the open world goes, I thought this game had really good exploration. Like just like finding all the little nooks and crannies in the levels and figuring out like how to get to certain platforming sections. I thought that was really cool. I haven't like 100% of the game, but I did really enjoy that aspect of it. I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on it.
Yeah, there was
Exploration.
one part in the main story where like we're trying to find something happened to Red and we need to get a replacement for him. And there was this one part in the mission where the guy's like, you have to get to the top of this tower and then I'll tell you where you're meant to go.
Oh, yeah.
That took me a solid bit just to like realize I was like, how the hell do I get up there?
Same here.
And then figuring it out, I definitely did not do it the right way, but I was happy that I did it my own way because I searched it out. I was like, okay, how do we actually do this? And then I realized there was a whole different path that I could have just taken, and it would have been a lot easier. And I was like, it's fine, but I think that idea of like that freedom that's within the level design, like there's no set like path to like get to A to B. Like you can definitely try your own ways to get to that destination is something that I really enjoy in these types of games.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
very open.
I think it's cool that like there's a bunch of side objectives basically. You could choose how little or how much you want to explore the world, other than when you talk to NPCs and they're like, oh, get this many points or do this specific thing. Generally, you can do whatever you want. And if you think something's attainable or too far away, you can either choose to do it or skip it. And it's very free flowing. Like you could basically, it's kind of like you see that like graffiti mark, you're like, I could get there somehow, and you have to figure out how. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, the game does not hold your hand. I definitely got lost like a few times, but I'm just like not very smart and get lost in games very easily. So I'm not going to necessarily blame the game for that.
No, I got lost as well.
Some of those levels are really
Definitely, yeah.
confusing.
Yeah, there's like one part of it. I think like there are times where the game kind of like I feel like struggles to tell you like what to do. Like there was one part of the game where it was like the game introduces like these attack helicopter enemies, and I had no clue what I was supposed to do. I thought I was supposed to run away from them, but I actually just had to kill them. But I feel like the game made that very unclear.
Yeah,
There were a few times.
Yeah, that was a weird part of the combat. At least like learning combat, I think, was definitely like a jar to all of us.
Oh, I have one more thing I want to say about the level design.
Yeah, sure.
Alright, yeah, go on.
This is something I want to bring up because for the most part, the game felt great to explore environments. The only thing that like kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and more so I think it's my perception of what I thought the game would be like, was different from how the game plays. So I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. It's just, But I specifically verticality in the game. I thought because of how the environments look, that the game would feel very free-flowing in terms of that. Like there would be multiple paths to get high up. And from my experience, especially like Pyramid Island, I thought looked super cool. But actually playing through it, I really disliked. Because it really did feel like you had to find the one correct path to get higher up.
Yeah.
And if you fall down, you have to restart the exact same way.
Yeah, going to that like island, you're like, oh, this is about to be like a full-on like jungle gym. It's just gonna be like grinding rails, looking at like Sonic games like galore, and then you realize, oh, this is all it is. There's just this one path. That's it. And then, yeah, that was definitely like one of the side points like with the level design. A little bone I got to pick with that area specifically was. Maybe I didn't know I was doing it right, or I did something wrong, but there was these windmills on Pyramid Island, and it's almost like a skill check where you have to complete like the windmills all the way to the end. And there's 5 windmills in a row, and you have to grind on them, and you have to time yourself jumping from windmill to windmill. And then I got to the end, but there was nothing there, and I saw a tube, and I was like, oh, let me go down there. And it just kills me, and I just respawn in the middle of the island. I thought it was cool, but also I was like, I wish there was something that rewarded me. For that.
I did the same thing.
There is something there. There's a
Okay, there
collectible.
is.
Exact same thing.
Yeah.
Where was it? 'Cause that
Okay,
also
yeah,
happened to
where?
me.
At the end of this video, actually, that's playing right now, I go to that area and I get that item.
Okay.
I did that puzzle. There's a
I feel
CD
like
there
I
on the
being
platform.
there like pretty obviously. Maybe I'm remembering it wrong.
I also like missed it.
I don't know.
went back to
I
the site and
also
was like,
saw. Sorry, yeah, you go.
Yeah, I also did the puzzle, and then I got to the end platform. I guess I landed past the item, and I didn't turn around because the platform was like pretty big to land on. And I was like, okay, there's nothing here. I died, and I was like, wait, what happened?
Mhm.
I did it again, and then I found the CD.
Yeah, I saw a big hole and I was like, that's the objective, and it killed me.
Huh.
I think at that point I was like, all right, I cut my losses and I just
So wait,
went on.
so it doesn't kill you if you get the item, but it does kill you if you don't get
It
it?
doesn't
No,
kill
you have to
you.
kill
It
yourself
just,
to get back.
It resets
Okay,
you.
I
back.
forgot
It just
does-
reset me.
Yeah.
It just reset me.
it doesn't
Huh.
kill you. It just puts you back at the beginning.
Oh yeah. I thought there was like an actual rail, but no, 'cause there's a different part of that level where you go into tubes that have rails in them.
That's how you get to the. That's how you get to the windmill area.
Yeah. Yeah, there are a few choke points. Like, also, there's one other thing I didn't realize this until after I beat the game, but there are areas that you can only unlock with a certain kind of what do you call it? A certain kind of
Bike.
thing to ride on.
Or-
That like skates,
I think-
whatever
yeah.
vehicle, whatever you want to call it.
There's red
And, like-
poles that you need a skateboard to like elevate, and then there's garages that have a bike symbol on them, and you need to be riding a bike for those garages to unlock.
Oh,
Yeah,
I never knew
that's
that.
kind of weird. Not that big a fan of that.
Yeah, I don't disagree. That is a little interesting.
Yeah, there's a few quirks.
It's
I
all
feel
for
like
optional
overall-
stuff, though.
Yeah,
It's fair, yeah.
It's never made it.
No, I agree. Overall, definitely movement and traversal felt pretty great.
Yeah. Now we want to talk about combat.
Didn't
Yeah.
feel so great was the combat.
And
Combat
No,
was
oh,
pretty
boy.
dog
Hate it.
water.
After a while, I didn't hate it.
Can I ask you
But-
guys a question?
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go for it.
Okay, so combat was kind of whatever with me until a certain point, and for me, that point was the DJ Cyber boss fight.
Yes.
I
That was
despised that boss fight.
Yeah,
I thought
that
it
was pretty
was
shit.
actually the worst designed boss fight
Yep.
like in the game, like
Yep.
by far.
I agree.
I think they didn't signal what you needed to do at all.
nope.
True.
Yep.
And then once you knew what to do, it was still finicky.
Yeah, it was still difficult to properly parry his attacks, and oh my god, once you get past him and you have to chase him, that was so frustrating.
That
Okay,
was
I
a little
won't-
easier, but yeah.
I won't lie, I kind of enjoyed just that part because it was just this like sliding like chase and all you had to do was just dodge the bombs as you just like slid on the ground. That was actually sort of fun for me. But
Yeah,
anytime after that,
part.
screw that. Screw the parrying and trying to get to him. I was like, I hate
I
this.
beat it without parrying him. I just like forced it. I didn't even realize you could parry it until
didn't
like
know you-
the very end.
I didn't know you could like damage him. I thought you had
Sometimes
to damage him
It was
through
like
parrying.
Sometimes you can.
Not
It
sure
felt
why.
like luck.
Yeah, I just found it by accident. I was like, oh, I can kick the disc. Okay, this is how we're meant to do this
That's how
then.
you're supposed to do it. Yeah.
I did it
It's
back.
very like I don't know. It's underdeveloped, so it's very weird how much focus it gets.
Yeah.
Because like you have like
Uh-huh.
3 attacks on the ground when you're not on your vehicle, whatever.
The cartwheel, the
And-
low kick, and I don't remember the
I
third
don't
one.
even remember
Yeah.
the other one.
I don't know.
But there is another one.
Also,
Yeah.
for him being a writer, I wish they did like kind of like one of the dream segments, like a parkour course, or like more like in the game's mechanics of what the writers would be, rather than just like a fight between them. He's like 1v1 me. I'm like, oh, okay, we're gonna have like a sword battle. It's like, no, literally fight me.
Oh no, I knew he wanted to throw hands. But fair enough.
I kind of agree
Yeah.
with Felix on this one.
The combat I do think wasn't very good. But there are a few boss fights I actually did really like. I really like there's like a mech like with a tank head.
That boss
you
fight
have to,
is
like-
pretty
Oh, yeah.
cool.
You have to
Yeah.
like grind into him,
Oh.
grind into his arms, and then tag and then like bonk into his turret arm, and then tag that to destroy it. I thought that was actually pretty cool. And the final boss is similar, which I also enjoyed.
I have a question.
But that's like more platforming than combat. But I do think at least some of the boss fights were pretty decent because of that. But the boss fights that are only about the combat, like the DJ Cyber one, are fucking awful. And the first one, the first boss fight of the game, that's the first thing you do, and it's such a fucking that was a wall for me at the beginning. I died like twice. I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? I just started playing the game, and this lady's kicking my ass.
I think I beat her by like air dashing at her
Yeah.
and knocked her out of the air, which like didn't feel like it should have worked, but it does.
I think
No,
that's what
I
you're
felt
supposed to
like
do.
that boss fight was really easy because you just air dash into it.
Yeah, but I just like
controls even
There was
work
no-
when
it didn't
fight.
feel intentional. I felt like I should have been attacking her instead, but that didn't really do anything.
Yeah, there was like it was definitely like they were like, "Oh, here's combat. Off you go. Figure it out." And then
It's weird they make you do combat before most of the traversal stuff.
yeah,
It's very weird.
Like,
Yeah.
you do like that. Combat's like you learn how to slide like into vents, and then you learn combat right after. I'm like, well, this is way too early to learn combat.
yeah.
Yeah.
We would grind on a single rail before we
Also-
do combat. So it's really weird.
Yeah, there was
So
also
it can make sense, but
yeah, combat's definitely weird on that end. There was also that like one part like where it's like if you quote unquote like the combo finisher, like I don't know if anyone saw but like the right bumper or R1 like pops up and then you like do like a aerial attack and you just spray them.
yeah, you can tag the
Yeah.
cops, which I do like. I do think that's
I
cool.
do like
Yeah.
that. I just wish that it didn't like freaking like pop out and then just. I wish there was a bit more of like a reaction time than just disappearing immediately.
Yeah, it does. It disappears really fast.
Really fast. Like
I
I
only did it like once.
yeah. At some points, like I would just be like spamming the attack button and then spamming the right bumper. I was like, all right, one of these is gonna activate at some point.
I usually just hit them, jumped, and then it was really easy to spray them.
Oh.
Yeah, the trick jump you get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part of the combat I do like is if you attack and then jump, you get a cool like jump attack trick thing.
Mhm.
I thought that was cool. But yeah, the rest of it, I think it's fine. I don't hate it, but it definitely overstayed its welcome, I think. And it's just
Yeah,
not as
yeah.
good as it's one of those like it's
It's a
just
little
not
too
as good as the rest of the game. It's just it's tough. But I do want to talk about the enemy faction. I do actually really like how the enemies are handled. Like
Wait,
I think it's
I have
really
one
fun.
question about the combat.
Knock yourself out.
In the mall, when you're supposed to fight the gorilla tank man for the first time, what did you guys do to trigger the fight?
Nothing.
I think
You're gonna have to be more specific than that. I don't.
Because for me, okay, so the way it happened is like they spawn the cops with the guns,
Okay.
and then that's it, and it's just an empty mall, and the other gang like leaves, and I'm just riding around this empty mall for like 2 minutes. I fought the cops. I couldn't beat them because they were shooting me. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll run away. I just rode around the mall for like 2 minutes, and I rode to, I guess, a trigger spot or something, and then the boss started. I was like,
I think you just go to the middle, and I think he just shows up.
yeah.
okay,
I
I
just,
was
Tried
like,
to leave immediately.
Yeah, for me, I just killed everyone, and then the boss came. I
okay.
was like, okay.
So I thought I had to like chase the gang because that's usually what you do. And I was
Yeah.
like, this mall's empty, all the doors are closed, and I'm just like running around doing nothing. That was that was a little frustrating.
You probably
No,
needed to graffiti a little bit more.
No,
Because you need
No,
to.
that's
this is the
that's
boss
the
fight.
end of
the
The actual
area.
boss fight.
I don't remember.
I also thought I was meant to go chase after them, but then like after like a solid bit, I was like, all right, all the places are sealed. The area that they went through is sealed. I'm gonna kill everyone. And
yeah, and then fighting the
Homeboy
cops,
comes in.
they were just shooting me, and I was like, they do way too much damage.
Hell.
I'm just dying over and over right before the boss
Yeah.
fight.
I kept on going like in and out of combat to like regen health, like if I got to that low of a state. But, yeah.
This game really wants you to hate the cops.
Yeah,
mean,
for real.
It really made
In
you hate
both
the cops.
ways.
They succeeded. I was saying,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
do want to talk. I do really like how they handled the the cops as a faction, because it's like it's also very funny and also very like true to life. Like there was like the section when they first the attack helicopters are first introduced, they're like lethal lethal force is necessary, release everything.
Yeah.
I was literally when I was playing this game first time, I was literally thinking of the fucking LAPD. We're sending actual attack helicopters after graffiti artists in LA, like in real fucking life. I'm like, this is just art imitates life. That shit, like, it's basically the same fucking thing. And the like the general like increase of the forces over time, because like when after a certain point in every level, you get like cops that just come out because like after you start tagging enough stuff. And then like they just come one after the other, and they get increasingly more cartoonish in like their resistance. Like you get just dudes with batons, and then you get dudes with riot shields, and then you get fucking mechs and attack helicopters. Oh, and those turrets, the turrets that shoot like chain at you and shit. I thought those were cool as hell. I actually really like those.
They're pretty easy to deal with if you seek
dash
them
into
out.
them and disable them. Like I that whole aspect of the game I thought was really well handled. It's really confusing. It's like, why the fuck did like you do like half the level where the police don't show up, and then all of a sudden they're just like swarming you. But I do think it was really well handled, and I think it's really funny that the parallels to real life. That's all I have to say about them. Anything else you want to touch on? Oh, the story. Do you want to talk about the story?
Yeah, we can talk about the story.
I really like the story, and I didn't even expect the game to have a story, and the fact that the game had such an in-depth one, I was really cool. I enjoyed like all the twists and turns. Like I was invested.
Should we
Like,
jump?
the characters are paper thin, but like
jump into spoilers.
yeah, I think so. I mean, like I guess the basic premise we should just go over. Like you play as a character named Red, who is a it's hard to explain, I guess. When you open with a different character who gets his head cut off by the main villain or by a villain in the game, and you play as the disembodied. He's played as the body without the head, and the hook of the game is we got to get your head back. And then all these different secrets get revealed on who Red actually is, and this big drama about all this stuff, but the main like hook is the head back, and also the crew that you're a part of, the Bomb Rush crew, becoming they try to go all city, which basically just means conquering all of the areas of the New Amsterdam, and beating all of the other gangs in stylish score attack contests. Is that a good sum of the story, I guess?
I would say so.
That hits the big beats.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, the All City King. It's not
All City King. So yeah, I guess to get into spoilers, honey, what do you guys want to talk about with spoilers? Our main character is.
Well, I guess like
at
at what point did you guys realize that you might not be just Cyberhead?
Not till I got shot.
Same.
I'll be honest.
Pretty much.
I think when I saw the other dude, who Felix, the character's name is, when we saw Felix in our dream, I was like, okay, we're probably that guy.
I mean, I suspected something was like weird when you end the first dream sequence with your old body, the character that you originally started the game as, Foe, is like the action of pushing and the camera falling, like off you're traversing this like skyscraper in the dreamscape.
Right.
You get to the top of the skyscraper and the cutscene ends with the character Foe like pushing the camera off the skyscraper. It was like at that point I was like, that's a weird action for like the protagonist to take. I don't think I was like, I did not jump to the assumption of like, oh, he's evil, but I was kind of like, something's up. I think like the reveal of when you get shot by the other Cyberhead, and then you see like the eye with the tattoo, the one angel wing tattoo, I was like, oh shit, like that's it. I know exactly what is going on here. But then after that, you get the hard cutscene to Foe's head is powering Project Algo, which is this like futuristic cop anti-writer project, essentially using the head of Foe because he is the second best writer in the city, basically to feed information on how to counter all writers. Of course, Foe
So he can become.
yeah, Foe ends up overpowering the program itself and killing off who I thought was going to be the main bad guy. He gets off-screened in a cutscene, and then Foe becomes the bad guy of the game. You fight him in one of those like gorilla mech bodies where his tiny head
It's
is
like
at the
a giant like snake machine. He is like terrifying.
he
I love
becomes
the
an
design.
eldritch abomination.
He
Yeah.
becomes an Elden Ring boss, basically.
Uh-huh.
A sci-fi Elden Ring boss. Also specify our writer is just
A graffiti
the
artist.
graffiti artist of the city, yeah. And Foe wants to become the city king.
Yeah, I believe that is the one
The one
part of
spoken line.
voice dialogue outside of like whenever you talk to characters in this game, instead of just grunting and going, "Hey," they
Yo.
say, "Hey yo, what's up?" and "Oh nah," which is incredible. But yeah, I believe All
amazing.
City King is the only actual dialogue that gets voiced, which
It's the only phrase.
comes out of nowhere, and I love it.
Oh yeah!
It is really funny when like a cutscene, like Red gets shot and the character just goes, "Oh nah."
Oh no!
Hey yo, my genuine reaction.
It's great.
Doesn't foe mean fake?
Yeah, it does.
Gotcha. 'Cause I thought that from the beginning of the game. I was like, oh, his name's Foe. There's probably something up with that, but I was like, didn't read into it further.
I was just like, that's a stupid name.
I don't know,
Sorry, bro.
dude. That's so funny.
He's like Dutch or something. He's from Amsterdam.
Yeah, I was like-
Okay, my bad.
I was like, that's such a cool name.
Oh.
Turns out he was fake.
That's cool. It's red.
You know, it's interesting.
Yeah, and then Red Felix. I was like, when I found out the main character's name was Red Felix, I'm like, God damn it, Felix got such an ego boost from this
They
game.
just combined their names together.
Named after him.
I
They didn't like
didn't
make a new
that.
name.
That name didn't impress you, but Red did.
Yeah.
Cap.
No, but yeah, there is a moment
Where's Red?
where
He's not
after
doing
they
that.
find out that you're Felix as well. Well, you're Felix, but they've been calling you Red. One of the characters talks to you and is like, "So, do we call you Red Felix now, or just Felix? Like, what's up?" And you get
But
to
you're-
choose, which I
But
like.
you're also red. Because the
Right.
Cyberhead
Well, I
has its
guess-
own, like,
Yeah,
brain.
Red is sort of his
Well,
own.
I don't think
It's not
so.
a real cyber.
No, it's not a.
They
It's
pretty
not
much
a real
treat him like he's
cyberhead.
Felix.
I don't.
Oh,
I think
so
he is just.
Red was
Felix.
never...
No.
No, Red is just Felix with lost memories, I guess,
Yeah.
right?
I thought at the
Yeah.
end, when
No,
you, like,
by the end, they pretty much are like, it's
When you-
Felix.
when you forehead smash Foe,
It's also
I thought
fire.
he killed Red. Because
No.
the
Red
mask
is-
finally broke.
No.
Red is Felix.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, no, that's right. Yeah,
It was
really
cool.
enjoyed the story overall. I think if there's one thing that this game has and that Sea of Stars definitely does not, it's personality. Like as far as our main characters go, like our characters are not very deep, but they have a ton of personality.
I really liked the personality for a lot of the main characters in season.
Well, agree or disagree. Anyway,
I can go with that.
Whoa!
We talked about that game already.
this game was really fun, and I guess we can talk about DJ Cyber becomes like a bro later on.
It's
We
not
Very
even.
quickly, actually.
It was very quick.
It was actually
Yeah.
it was a
But-
good guy the whole time.
Like you beat him, and then he's like, "Yo, we're friends now."
It's
I
not
mean,
even
it's
that.
awesome
He's-
anime shit.
Yeah, it's that. It's like. It's not even that he says like we're bros now. It's that he says that I've been testing you this whole time. Like I had, which is like arguably worse to me.
Well, he was trying to get Felix back because Felix was murdered.
It was very much like the idea of like, oh, you beat the boss, he's part of your party now, and that's all I got from that interaction.
He was like part of your party, but then he was still like, go capture my territory anyway.
I respect that. Yeah, he was like, I'm not just gonna keep it up.
Well, it's like he leads that group, but they're their own group.
Yeah,
I think they're separate from him.
Yeah, no, it was cool.
Yeah.
I really like all the enemy factions too. They're all really fun and have their quirks. Like we got the all cyberhead group who I like.
.exe.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Yeah, I think someone already mentioned the what are they called again? The Flesh something?
The Franks.
Yeah, and they're like cobbled together like Frankenstein monsters because the main leader
led by the Flesh Prince.
Yeah, the Flesh Prince.
God, I love that.
That you have to find him to like fix your head after you get shot.
Yeah.
And his fix for it is just putting the faceplate back. He's like, yeah, you're good.
Well, he does look. He goes,
funny, man.
yeah, you have
There's
a
some good
concussion.
jokes.
It's like, you dumbass.
No one but him could have fixed that.
So
No
true.
of him could have put the Lego back in his place.
Thank you, Mr. Flesh.
He's like a little kid too, like makes all
Yeah.
the kids in this gang. Like it's so fucking morbid, it works. Like it's like, but they show it so nonchalantly. It's like, yeah, this guy can rebuild people, whatever.
Bro, this guy's race in the background. Crazy. I have not done this yet. This looks insane.
This guy is so fucking fast. It was really annoying.
Yeah, the race missions in the game are normally pretty easy. This one looks way harder. I didn't do this one either.
Matan is one of the maps that I don't like a lot because there's like I think like pitfalls are kind of cheap when they're like everywhere, and Matan is like one area that's a giant pitfall, and it is annoying.
Yeah, I had a few issues getting
fair,
around here.
yeah.
I do love the visuals of this area though.
It's cool.
I'll say as someone who just so happened to have traveled to Amsterdam right as I was playing this game, like at least parts of it, they do a fun like job interpreting, especially the red light district area. Is like it's not the same by any means, but I appreciate like the vibe is like pretty well nailed for the most part.
I didn't even.
And it's a perfect considering there's a shit ton of graffiti in the city, so definitely like having a game like this take place in what's called New Amsterdam, I think is really fun.
I didn't even realize that area was the red light district until you.
Yeah, well, I literally went there right before getting to that part of the game, and I was like, oh shit, it's the red light district. So when I got back,
That makes a lot of sense.
I just left. There's just less sex shops, but they did have a Triple X building there at one point, so that part is accurate.
Return of Xander Cage.
Shut the fuck up.
We can't get through talking about the factions without talking about the old heads.
That's
They are my
true.
favorites.
The old heads are something special. I love the idea of a faction that is just there to keep the other factions kind of following the rules.
Nobody
also
should
would
be there.
Of like tradition.
They're
And they all
hard
have really
asses.
fun designs, and they show up during every crew battle, like, because every, like, map ends with a crew battle with the enemy faction you've been fighting for that point. And they're basically the referees.
Mhm.
And they gate a couple of areas too, I think.
Yes.
Like, you need like extra rep to get through their areas, which I guess that's more like post-game sort of stuff, because I didn't unlock all those.
This game did make me very nostalgic for the time I spent breakdancing, like the year and a half that I tried it. Like all the music and just all like the lingo and how everyone talks is like, it felt cool.
That is really
That's
interesting.
I didn't even realize you did that. That's awesome.
The developer posted a bunch of stuff.
And the dances.
Yeah,
That's
the
what
reason why he, I guess, like chose those dances and everything is because he himself, or I should say, one of the developers himself is a breakdancer. So
Yeah,
when the game got released, he released a bunch of like the side by sides of him dancing the same dances
awesome.
of the characters. I don't
That's
know.
sick.
I don't know if it was mocapped or not. I I'm
I feel like it had to have
unsure.
been, right?
It really looks mocap.
I think mocap with
I
like
think
like,
it might have been.
keyframe like adjustments, maybe.
Yeah, like seeing all the breaking, like popping and locking,
Yeah,
like
'cause
the
it
house
definitely-
dancing.
It looks
so
great.
sick.
Yeah,
And
it's
seeing all the
fluid.
characters do that as their like idle animations, like Shane was saying, and Tyler, it was like
Hmm.
that was clean.
Yeah, man.
Alright, I
The
think we should
animations in this
transition.
game are so great.
The animation is great. I think we should transition into final thoughts on the game.
That's so sad.
You want to lead
You want to
us,
go first?
Zach?
Tyler? Me first?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, sure. I'll go first. So I feel like we've been talking a lot about like the style and like everything for this game. If there's one thing that is clear about Rush Cyberfunk is that this game had a fucking vision, and they executed that vision to near perfection. Really, like every aspect of this game was so well thought out and meticulously crafted. It's like it just all came together and like this really like magical experience. I think it's not like the greatest game I've ever played or anything, but I'm never gonna forget it. This is definitely a very special game. Like the music, the visuals, the gameplay, like it all works together in such this harmonious form at the end, to where it's just like it's a really special game. And I think anybody who enjoys video games just in unique experiences owes it to themselves to play this.
Those are well put words.
Thank you.
Yeah, I guess I'll finish out my closing thoughts here too. I think that this game makes you smile, and that's super, super important for video games. There's a lot of games where you want to try hard, you want to go for the high scores. This game does that, but not a single time in this game was I like not smiling, and it makes me laugh, and it just has fun with itself. I think that's more important than people realize, especially developers these days. Like, I'm not just trashing the game design industry, but I think that a lot of companies could learn from just a game having fun with itself, because the players feel it too. And man, I'm gonna remember this game for a long time.
How about Shane go next?
Sure. I absolutely agree with Tyler about when games take themselves a little less seriously and have more fun. It's just more fun for you as well. It makes you smile, and I feel like it's more memorable. Like Hi-Fi Rush had a lot of moments like that. I really loved that game as well. But Bomb Rush, it was a great game. I had some small complaints, but really nothing like comes even close to taking away from the fun I have with this game. Would highly recommend.
Awesome. Robbie?
Yeah, I can agree more with what's been said from everyone so far. I think this game has just been a blast to play, just moving around, parkouring, doing stunts and everything. It's something I look for a lot in a game, especially like open world games like this. Just the idea of just like being immersed, having fun, doing legitimately nothing, and still having that much fun is something that I look for a lot in a lot of games I play. And this one I can see myself going back to on countless occasions, just grinding and having fun again.
Felix?
Yeah, I think I was gonna say the game's very good. That was
So true.
Period.
so true. I think the way it presents itself, it has so many unique aspects where you could play it however you want, you can trick as much as you want, or you could just play it linearly as just like a solid story game. And whether you just want to like have a great sandbox to trick and get high scores, or you just want to explore the world and find characters or get the collectibles. And also tagging the graffiti and like picking your favorites, being like, I like that one, and then after you're done with the section and you just see all your graffiti around and like, yeah, this is my territory. The game feels great to play. And it never feels boring for a second, and it's just a great time.
All right, Reed, close us out.
All right. I am a sucker for a studio that has a devoted aesthetic. And I have to say, Team Reptile has, I think all of their games feel kind of similarly embedded in this kind of funky punk Dreamcast aesthetic that I feel like it does not show up a lot recently. I feel like they're one of the few people that are still doing it, and they're doing it well, and that's cool. This game is fucking awesome. I thoroughly enjoy it. I'm still playing it. I already got all the achievements. I just like doing the combos and just playing it. I'm probably gonna start checking out the modding scene, because I think this game has an extensive modding scene that make the game even more, I guess, like replayable. I know you could play maps. I know they have like, there's a couple of movement mods where you can like really add more to it, and I think with a little bit more complexity, maybe through some mods, this can really get crazy. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I think this game rocks. Check it out if it's up your alley.
Definitely. I'll definitely be installing some mods too. You can play Sonic characters. There are some Sonic maps. I mean, you're playing to your audience here. All right, well, thanks everyone for listening to this episode of Wheel. Oh,
We're not done yet.
We're not done yet.
We have one other segment where we're just gonna all talk about a game that we played recently. Just tell us that's cool. And,
We actually have two other segments. We're gonna
gotta
spin the wheel.
We have to spin the wheel here.
That was a bait. I did not. That was a fake out.
Oh,
To be clear,
of course it was. Of course.
A double
it was
fake
all
out?
planned. Anyway, who wants to talk about their game first? I just go first.
Yeah, let's go down the list.
Yeah, go down. Let's talk.
Down the list. All right. Well, I played this little game that definitely nobody's heard of called Penny's Big Breakaway. This is the game developed by Evening Star, aka the developers of Sonic Mania, the best Sonic game that we've had in a very, very long time. And the developers of this game definitely showed that Sonic Mania was not a fluke, and that they know how to make amazing original games as well. Penny's Big Breakaway is a 3D platformer, probably closest to like Mario Galaxy combined with a classic Sonic kind of style and moveset. It's very momentum based, like classic Sonic uses a lot of very similar like level design and mechanics and stuff. It's very momentum movement based, and this is like probably, it's as far as controls and moveset goes, probably the best 3D platform I've ever played, period.
Damn.
Because there's just, you only have like 5 moves, but the amount of like dexterity and multi-use you get out of those 5 moves is just infinite, and the game is built around you learning these mechanics. And there's a ton of hidden tech too that the game doesn't even tell you about, which I'm a huge sucker for. It's definitely like a little bit to get the hang of it first. Like the first few levels I was like, what the fuck is this game? Like, what am I doing? But once you figure it out, like a lot of Sonic games, and like Cloud Belt too, I guess, if you get to that point where you understand everything, the game feels incredible to play, and the levels are really well designed and put together, and just really awesome in general. And the music and visuals are also absolutely incredible. Telos knocks it out of the park again. This man cannot miss. He will never miss the day he dies. I love him. And I've been listening to the soundtrack on loop as much as I've been listening to the Bomb Rush soundtrack. It's been hard to pick which to listen to recently. But yeah, highly recommend it if you like Mario, if you like any kind of platformer that has like a fun style and unique gameplay that you can't get anywhere else. That's always what I'm about, what I'm here for, and I think they delivered it. It's unfortunate they shadow dropped it with no marketing. I don't know if that was the right decision, because I feel like a lot of people just immediately flew under their radar because like it just doesn't have the name recognition of some other titles. But yeah, no, definitely highly recommend. Really fun game. I've already time attacked and replayed a lot of the levels, and I will be doing that more. And yeah, that's what I gotta say about it. Fantastic game. Definitely play it if that sounds interesting to you.
I didn't know that was the developers of Sonic Mania.
Yeah, their first 3D game. They made a whole engine for it, which is really cool. And yeah, the game's great. A little buggy. Boss fights aren't great. It's like my only critiques, but the rest of it's fantastic. All right, next on the list is Tyler.
Oh, I mean, I've been playing a lot of Elden Ring, but I think we'll have one or two other people that are going to talk about that. but I'm playing Destiny. Uh, it's my trap card. Whenever they release something, I'm involved in one way or another, and I do love this game. I love horde-based game modes, and they just dropped that today. So yeah, that's where I'll be for a bit. That's all. I'll let you guys go back to a non-Destiny world.
Fair enough. I hope you're having fun in hell. I mean, Destiny. And
Loving it, dude. I mean,
So
I
wish I
really
liked
love.
the game so I could.
It truly is the
I
"we're
could,
so
like,
back,
experience
it's so
the video.
Jover, we're so back" cycle.
yeah, I go from loving this game to dooming about it frequently, sometimes within the same hour. So
What a beautiful endorsement for the video game.
hey guys, play this game with me. I really like it.
We're so
I
back.
probably will.
Anywho,
That all? Shane, you wanna go?
Sure. So I have been playing Prince of Persia again. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. It came out about a month ago, I want to say.
January.
Time passes.
I'm
Like
playing
nothing else.
Construct.
The hands
True.
of time
True.
stop for no one.
But it's a really great game. I thoroughly enjoy this game, and I think more people should check it out, especially if you enjoy Metroidvanias, anime, and action games. You know, it really hit a Venn diagram for me, and it's a ton of fun.
I have also played this game a little bit. I won't say much, but I haven't finished it. But it is very good. It has a lot of Dragon Ball Z shit. If you like Dragon Ball or like stupid anime shit, you'll probably love it. It's really good, and the combat's really fun.
So true, bestie.
Very true.
Prince of Persia has Dragon Ball shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's some Dragon Ball ass shit. But yeah, no, for
Yeah.
real.
Yeah, no, dude, have you seen the comic?
Oh shit.
We'll talk after.
We'll
I
talk.
literally never looked at this. I knew I wanted to play this game, so I've never like looked at any material for
He's-
it beyond the
He's
first trailer.
shunned us away from ever showing him stuff. He's like, hey, I'm gonna be playing this game, so don't
I'm
show
gonna
it to
go
me.
in blind very
Yeah, you
soon.
Okay, but like maybe
Yeah, I'm
play the
so-
demo, and then
Yeah.
you'll probably buy it immediately after.
No, I'll play it.
On sale still?
Oh, maybe.
Well, I mean, I'll go on sale
I
again
bought it
soon.
on
I'm
sale.
not too worried about
That's
it.
why I haven't beat it yet, because I bought it on sale recently. But yeah, game's great. Shane's right. He's
Segueing.
cooking with this one.
Segueing from that, I recently did finish the Prince of Persia game, and I was like, holy shit. Yeah, I kind of slept on that one for not completing it, but holy shit, that ending
Yo, don't
and
say
that
anything.
whole everything
Yeah.
going to that was amazing.
Please, no spoilers. But yeah, man, I
But
can't believe
basically,
I can't believe Ubisoft was just hiding a Prince of Persia game in their back pocket that was actually really good. Maybe
Ubisoft Montpellier, bro. They always
praying,
cook.
They know what
praying
they're
that they release their hidden sleeper gems from their other IPs that they've been sleeping on for years.
doing. Yeah.
Splinter Cell fans are dying right now.
Oh, so true.
that's for a different time.
They can't find the IP documents anywhere.
He's
They're
still
gone.
Lost the rights.
hiding.
They lost them. They're buried underneath.
Not like another company owns them. They lost them. The rights are gone. They can't find them anymore.
They see themselves in court.
Honestly, it's Ubisoft. It would not surprise me.
They're like, who owns this? We do.
Wait a
Fuck.
second.
This
I hope-
game's
I hope
Rayman
there's-
Legends, definitely.
I hope their Star Wars game is good. That's a side note, but
Oh yeah, they released gameplay for that today, right?
Yeah,
Wait.
I released it.
At the story or whatever.
Yeah.
who's up next? What's you playing?
Ravi's next with
Yeah.
Prince of Persia, but another game he's playing.
Yeah, I am playing Dragon's Dogma 2. I played the first one back on the 360, loved it, and have been enjoying my time with 2. I think just overall, I'm a big sucker for like medieval RPG and action combat. And this just brought me back to memories of playing the first one and then just everything that they added with this one was just amazing, and all the stuff that they do with their AI system and all their pawns is next level, and I've been just enjoying playing through the game. But yeah.
Yeah, man. Not to steal your moment on this game, but I totally forgot that I was playing through that because of the Destiny shit that happened.
Destiny.
That game rocks. I love Dragon's Dogma. I gotta go back to playing it, but you know,
Destiny.
Destiny.
Someone's a Destiny slut.
Yeah, they both start with D. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. And both D2.
Yeah, I'm playing D2 one way or another.
D2 and DD2. That is a little confusing.
Throw Dune 2 in there as well.
Oh,
So-
jeez.
Similar to Tyler, I'm also on like a 3-month lifespan kind of thing with Path of Exile. Also got my life tied up in 3-month intervals.
I'm sorry, brother.
So I feel the pain, but it's pretty good. And then in terms of like single player games, after we finished the Sea of Stars podcast, I basically instantly started playing The Messenger. And I played that for like a week straight. And it's pretty fucking fun. It's a 2D Metroidvania platformer. Like, I guess the combat's similar to like Ninja Gaiden, I would guess. I never played one of those games.
Like the old ones, yeah.
Yeah, like the old Ninja Gaidens.
The 8-bit ones.
The boss fights are very similar in that way. Or like, the enemies have a lot of health, and you don't know how much damage you're doing. It's kind of like, just like you just keep hitting the boss until it dies. But the platforming and the game, and also after playing Sea of Stars, the connection story-wise that Tyler was talking about, it's really cool
Yeah, man.
because it's a sequel, but it came out first. Obviously,
Yeah,
that's
man.
how things work. But like,
Man, what company does that?
it's pretty cool because you see characters, you see moments, and you're like, there's connections. But the games aren't really connected. But then they also are, and it's really cool to see that. And it was fun to play through.
Nice.
Yeah,
I can
man.
try.
The Messenger is also a very special experience. We'll have another episode for that one day maybe. But
I played and dropped the game like 6 years ago, 5 years ago. I should pick it back up
Same.
and
Great
finish it.
music, though.
I
Music is
really
fantastic, yeah.
I think it's worth playing. Same as Sea of Stars, where if it's not your thing, finish it. It's still really good.
Yeah, I think I could like it if I get in the right. I don't know. I played it so long ago, so it's like hard to say even why I dropped it. I just remembered not liking it. But I'm sure I will if I try it again.
The Metroidvania part of it, you can get pretty lost, or like just not know how to proceed. And that can be pretty
Yeah.
annoying.
I think because you said earlier you get lost in video games sometimes. It does have a very large segment in the game where you're kind of clueless on where to go, and you gotta figure it out.
That's rough.
It holds your hand for a very large segment, and then it's like, all right, the rest is up to you.
And it's also got one of those like Elden Ring quest systems where it's like, here's this thing you gotta do. Find it. Very little context.
Still, very interesting game.
But it
I
is
love
still
that.
very I recommend it.
Another soundtrack you'll listen to for a long time, at the very least.
Reed, you want to tell us what game you've been playing?
Yeah, I've been playing a game called Katomon Hyper Auto Battlers. I thought it was made by the same devs that did Super Auto Pets, but upon doing some preliminary research, I think it's actually a separate developer, but the art style is very similar to Super Auto Pets. And it's clearly inspired, at least, just from like the auto battler kind of way it works. But it's a very different game. It's out in early access right now, and it's unique. I mean, like, I did like a video on it that's coming out soon, but
Ooh.
it's really the only reason I was drawn to it is because they put little cute guys that you can collect and evolve and play, and I was like, that's all I need. But it's difficult. There's even in that video, there's a couple of like frustrating moments I have where it feels like sometimes you're just gonna get like hard countered if you just have like the wrong build. And that doesn't really feel good per se to like lose those types of matches, because it's like, okay, what could I have done there besides just be more knowledgeable? But I guess that's kind of like what those games are at the end of the day. So over under, it's cool. I think it was $10. It seems like the developers are going to support it for a very long time. They're already implementing like a couple of major updates just in terms of like how the game works to try to curb some of that like extreme difficulty stuff that a lot of people are having. So that's always good to see, like responsiveness from a developer in that way. So I have no doubt that it's only going to get better. Yeah, I think it's awesome. The creature designs are really fucking cute, man. Like, not often do I see I guess like a knockoff Pokemon game that has like good creature design. Like, I would go as far to say like I think this is like as good as some Pokemon designs.
No.
Yeah, it's cool. I think if that's your shtick, check it out. If not, it's not for everyone.
I like that.
All right. I think, is it time?
Yeah.
Time
It
for
is.
the wheel.
Let's
The
get
spin.
to
Oh man.
No.
Oh, I thought you messed that up.
the wheel moment. We're
I thought you
gonna
messed up that combo. That's so many points.
hide that.
Oh my god, it's the wheel.
The wheel.
Do we want to say
boy.
who donated what, or is that a waste of time?
We could say who inputted what. I'll run through the games first, and I guess we'll go down the list. But I added Noida. Pizza Tower was added by
Me.
Zach. Okay.
I added a Souls like.
You added
Sorry.
Hey,
Tyler.
which one is that?
Tyler added
Lunacid.
Lunacid.
Is
Oh,
that's
I've
like the
never
first
heard of
person
that.
one, right?
Yeah.
Wait, it's first person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only
it's
two
based,
Souls like that.
it's based off from Software's first Souls-like game. I forget the exact name of that game.
Demon Souls?
No.
No.
Yeah, I think it is. Is it King? No.
Yeah.
It might
thought-
be Kingsfield.
Oh, you know what? I think you're right.
Oh,
Tyler.
this is deep. I don't know
Yeah.
any of this.
That was all Shane's pocket. He said Kingsfield, and I think that's definitely right.
Mhm.
But
yeah, I just looked it up.
it is based off
Nice.
that. It's like if a PS1 game was made, but with like what developers know now. It's great.
Oh.
Nice.
Speaking of Shane, what game did Shane
Very
add?
interesting. I added Chance of Sonar because I really want to play this game again, and I really want to hear what the fellas think about it.
Rowdy.
I added Assault Spy. I have played this game before, but I wanted people to just experience a fun indie action combat game.
I have played this game too. It is quite good. I would love to replay it. For
Yeah.
every excuse. Felix?
And I added Tunic because I want to play a 2D Zelda game, and I heard it's really good.
I am
Tunic looks
excited.
awesome. All of
This
these
one-
games, I think, are pretty.
All these
cool.
games sound cool,
Oh, yeah.
or at least unique.
Shall we spin the
Alrighty.
wheel?
Do we
Let's
want to
get
get like a drum roll going? Let's do it.
3, 2, 1. Wheel spin.
Go, go, go!
Can't
go.
I have horrible eyesight. What is that even?
Oh
Shit!
Oh shit!
Chance of Sonar!
Welcome to the Shane Zone.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Well,
shit!
Reed didn't win again.
I'm really glad
That's
me
good.
and Reed didn't win.
The streak's
That's
over.
true.
The
That
wheel
is
isn't
very
rigged.
true. Thank God.
Not that I would have been mad to play either of our games, but
Alright.
we need to have more Brett. Awesome. We're playing Chance of Sonar next.
We can make Shane very.
Any
gotta-
well, Shane, do you want us to tell us about the game before we do it?
I mean, it's a game that is heavily focused on language and different cultures, but I think for the most part, no, I think you guys should just experience it yourself.
All right.
All right.
Alright.
Well,
Yeah.
mystery.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
I think it might be better that way. We will see you next time.
on the next wheel. Look forward to
the
it.
next one. Thank you for listening.
Peace out, y'all.
That's a wrap.
To wheel again,
Wheel.
or not to
All
wheel.
City King.
All City King.